Welcome to Florida Mint on Florida Man with Josh Mills and Wayne McCarty, the podcast where Floridians discuss the legends, lore, and crazy stories that always seem to take place in Florida. We are here with legendary Michael Mutz. You have more injuries than any and all of our guests combined.
Your claim to fame.
That might be true.
Yeah.
He said to us before we came on the air that you've broken 26 bones.
That's true.
You've had stitches in 20 occasions.
That's true.
Well, what he said to me was, touch me softly, you might break a bone.
That's what he
And
said.
it could
That's
be my
exactly
heart
what
bone.
I said.
Okay, so can you, because you've done a lot more than that, but just we're fascinated by this, can you elaborate a little bit?
Which time?
Well, 0 X Games. Can we get that out of there?
Yeah, he's not a skate. Well,
That's the first question people are
You're
gonna
not a
ask.
professional extreme skater.
No, the first broken bone was T-ball, actually.
Okay.
It was just a finger.
Okay.
That I'm almost like that doesn't even count.
Like sliding in to
the
like home base
last-
on a grand
No,
slam?
it was somebody threw the ball. I tried to catch it without a glove.
With your bare hand?
Yep.
Yeah, 50-50 shot there on which hand to catch it with.
But it was a good lesson. It was a good
Yeah,
lesson.
of course.
And that lesson is I hate baseball.
Right,
Yeah.
same.
Same.
And I never broke a bone playing
Good
baseball.
company, though.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, you learn from other people's stupidity.
No, so I would say most frequently, though, you all jokes aside, you've had some serious injuries.
The last broken bone
Yeah.
was
Big boy.
It was brain surgery.
Okay.
Because
Wow.
I was on an electronic longboard
Okay.
and
Oh.
I had been meaning to get a helmet.
Right.
On your
just-
way.
I just hadn't done it
You
yet.
were on your way
And
to
they
get
just
a
look so
helmet.
stupid, too.
Yeah, so I was cruising back from a coffee shop. I technically,
Yep.
and I don't want to be judged for it.
Right.
But
You're
I
gonna
did
be
have
judged.
my dog in my left arm and a coffee cup. And then in my right hand I had the remote.
Dog coffee remote.
Okay.
And I don't remember anything.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I
For
guess we're
about a
asking the
month,
wrong person.
But it was in front of my friend's house, and they had a lawn crew there. The lawn crew ended up calling my wife to let her know what was going on.
yeah.
And one of the lawn crew guys was studying to be an EMT. So he asked
Oh
some good
my
questions and realized
goodness.
that
Wow.
I was bleeding in my brain. So I
Yeah.
did call him at one
Did they
point in time.
see it or did they go,
And
is
he
this guy
saw it.
sleeping?
He basically said what happened was I was going back, and instead of grabbing my head, I'm a good person. I threw my dog into the yard
Wow.
to make sure my dog was okay.
Oh.
Oh, isn't that amazing? You just know the subconscious is always going to take care of
Yep.
animals.
Well, speaking of Subs and Such has been sponsoring our episodes lately.
Yeah.
And we want to give them a shout out. They've
Honestly, if you get the Philly cheesesteak 12-inch, say the name
on.
Mike,
yeah,
and you'll get a discount.
that's true. Okay, now I want to say this before Mike does the headlines because you brought headlines, but I want to say this: 3 minutes before that accident happened, you text me, "Helmets are for dorks only." Do you want to elaborate?
Well, if I'm being honest,
Okay.
I actually snowboard, and I did have a snowboarding helmet at my house.
Okay.
So
Oh, wow.
I,
So
I
it's just...
omitted the memory of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to look dorky. And
Thank
in
you.
my mind, I
Praise.
just had this picture of you walking around with the helmet, driving your minivan.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
okay, that's true. Okay, so no, you're not the first Mutz to come on our show.
Oh, I forgot. My dad.
Your dad, the mayor,
Yeah.
has come on our show. And what's that been like having your dad be the mayor?
Yeah, to walk around and go, I was on the show before you.
Yeah, well, honestly, I asked him, what's the greatest thing that you've accomplished being the mayor?
man.
And he said, getting on the Florida Man on Florida Man show.
Come
Yeah.
on.
And I said, is there anything else? He said,
Anything.
no, the rest is government. Nothing else. has
Re-elect
happened."
this man.
And then it's being a dad.
Yep.
Yeah, first.
it's Florida Man on Florida Man,
Yeah.
then mayor,
Well, then car lot owner,
car lot owner,
and then mayor, and then dad.
mayor again.
Okay, so
Because he got reelected.
so how many siblings do you have?
11 siblings. My parents had 12 kids.
Okay,
One
and
every 2 years.
Where did you fall in that ranking
I was number 7 in the. Well, oh, sorry. Did you mean?
chronologically?
Oh, okay. Not in favoritism.
No, favoritism. Were you number one?
Number 2, if we're
That's what
blending
I'm
my mom
talking
and my
about.
dad.
Okay,
Yeah.
There is a
Cool.
sister that they like more than me.
okay.
Why is that?
But
No
and-
broken
and-
bones?
Just like more like perfect child kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
never gets,
Perfectionist. don't like
Probably no, but yeah, like she was
wears helmets.
maid of honor, not maid of honor. I'm gonna blame that on the brain
Right?
surgery. No, what's that? Number one in school. Valedictorian.
Oh, okay.
Victorian,
I
yeah.
was thinking prom queen.
Yep. Well,
I was number one in school.
And you weren't prom queen. Can we
no,
say that?
no. I went to a Christian school, so couldn't be prom queen there.
Yeah.
Wait, you didn't have that for real?
prom queen
Yeah.
for me.
No, but I'm saying in general, like no one
No,
was
they
prom
did
queen?
have it. I'm
Oh,
just saying
okay.
I couldn't be the prom queen.
See-
At ours, it was like you had Jesus, and then you could be one of the other crucified thieves.
That's right.
That was like the highest honor to be
So
crucified.
all the kids
next
would
to
dance?
Jesus.
Be crucified with
yeah,
Jesus.
all the kids would dance, and they would be like, left side is Josh Mills.
Yeah, and
Right
I'm like,
side.
crucify me.
Yeah.
I actually might.
Barabbas.
I might start a Christian school just to have that be.
That's a
who gets
great
elected.
spin.
Yeah,
I will
yeah.
say it's a very unique sense of humor. Kids who grew up in Christian school.
Yeah.
Because
they're
you missed
slighted.
out on like the stuff like math and science, but
Yeah.
you got a lot of humor because of it.
You had to.
Yeah. So, Mike, you brought headlines, man. And how do you feel before we take a break and go into headlines? How do you feel about these on a scale of 1 to 10?
I feel good about the headlines. Florida has not disappointed us.
Come
And then a
on.
follow up. Did you make a headline when you crashed?
Mayor's son.
I
Yeah.
didn't make a headline.
What the-
Ironically, we made a headline by me buying the house that you wanted.
Yeah, God,
That
yeah.
for some reason
Such
got
a
put in the
beautiful
paper.
house.
There's a
I
house
know,
that Josh
beautiful,
wanted.
proud photo.
Yep. They did put that in the paper, but the brain surgery, I think maybe they felt like he didn't die, so the
True.
world
Oh,
wasn't
that's
wasn't done a favor, not worth writing.
The
about.
headline was Florida man.
Nice, cool house.
yeah, buy a
Nice,
school
cool
house. Yeah, but listen, we appreciate you coming on, and we're excited for these headlines. Cool.
Okay, headline.
Headlines.
That felt good.
Before I do these headlines,
Okay, love it.
I do have I do want to confront you guys.
I
on
love
something.
a preface on
Yep.
anything.
I love. Yeah, confront us.
Yep. You me personally,
Okay.
I've enjoyed this show.
Yeah.
I've
Thank you.
listened to literally
a lot.
every episode that you've ever
Thank
had.
you so much.
I'm sorry about the first one.
If Josh surprised us with a quiz today, I would win.
Oh
Um,
wow!
Wow.
Oh my gosh!
But
This is
you
fun.
have forgotten about the shame corner.
Okay, we did a shame corner temporarily. It was impromptu where we would take folks who were did naughty
Baddies.
things,
Yep.
baddies, and go, you're in the shame corner now. And we would release them whenever we remembered to.
Yeah,
months
yeah.
down
They
the
were
road.
bound.
Some people never.
Some people never,
Yeah,
some people are still there in the old studio in Auburndale.
Yeah, then
Starving.
we had soft variations of the shame corner.
The lame corner.
Yeah, for just people that like threw a frisbee and hit a dog.
Yeah, lame.
Yeah.
Yeah, not cool.
Somebody spotted wearing a helmet. Lame.
Lame. And then the fame corner.
The fame
for
corner.
the Dolly Partons of the world.
Barack Obama.
Well,
So what did you have to say about the shame corner?
I'm here to confront you that
You want
it might
apologies?
be one of the best things that you'd ever done,
We'll bring it back.
and that you should bring it back.
We'll bring it back for you tonight.
Yep, and
It's tonight.
It's
It's
been
active.
discussed actually. I'm a Patreon subscriber. So
Oh, wow.
If you guys,
wow. Every
if you-
Patreon subscriber gets a chance to sit on
Yep.
mic 3.
exactly. If you're a Patreon subscriber and you're watching, sometimes we discuss that
No.
that we're
Oh,
missing
there's a
the
chat?
shame
You're
corner.
There's a
yeah.
private
Shame
chat?
corner.
Yeah, we
Okay.
actually
Patreon?
we have a subtext chat.
Okay,
God,
so
that's horrifying.
yeah,
actually.
we're gonna bring it back. They're gonna be like, you see Wayne's shoes tonight?
Yeah.
His fat feet.
Yeah,
Fat,
this is the
fat,
first
fat,
time I
fat.
wore this shirt, and I'm feeling real uncomfortable in
It
it.
looks great though.
And now I know the private chat's going to be like all over.
Yeah,
it.
well, hold on, I just got a text from. No, they actually they like the shirt.
They do.
heck
Yeah.
yeah, the shirt's
Yeah.
polling well.
All right.
Phew.
So with all of that,
Okay.
here's our first headline, and this is a good Florida headline. Florida
Okay.
man arrested for refusing to stop boogie boarding during double red flags.
Okay.
Okay, free will.
Yeah, like I was a little confused because I was like, "What's double red flags?"
Wow,
It's
you don't
when-
know what double red flags
It's when
are.
the water is so dangerous
Right.
that the only people allowed in the water are people who are tethered to a surfboard.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Oh, so you can't have a.
You can't have a boogie board, which he had.
What if you're
Right.
tethered to your wrist? Don't they have?
I received I received a video of this.
That's what
Okay.
I'm talking about.
And the lengths
Untethered.
that Florida is willing to go to get people out of the water during double red flags.
Yeah.
There was a helicopter hovering over him for 20 minutes making announcements that he needed to get out of the water.
You have to
Sorry.
get out of the water, sir.
And
A helicopter's not going to convince me to do nothing.
I'm just saying
No.
they're longer so I can stare at it.
Thank you.
I don't see the problem with him being in there. Nonetheless, he was there. I do want to show you a picture of him.
Yeah, please.
Please.
Oh my god.
Well, he's seen a
Can
lot.
you point towards the camera so
That's
this
a,
guy?
That's 1,000 yards.
That's actually double red Chad,
yeah, it is.
and
Yeah.
he's known for that.
Now this did
He's a
happen when my wife finally was able to get a visa to come to America.
Okay.
Like at the same day?
Nope. She moved to the Pensacola area. She moved to Panama City Beach.
Okay.
Congrats.
This is out in Bay County.
Okay.
And And the next part is after 25 minutes being shouted at
Yeah.
by the helicopter, he gets onto the beach.
Yeah.
But he's ripping this whole time,
Oh,
right?
he's just like, you can go watch the video. He's
Yeah.
enjoying himself.
I'm
Pop
sorry. If
shove
there's
it.
a helicopter above me and I'm just ripping,
I know.
Honest-
I
Honestly-
assume there's a camera crew and they're like
They're
pumping
there
me
to
up.
they're there to watch.
You probably think you went pro boogie boarder.
Hey,
Oh,
man.
100%.
Yeah, I got a sponsor. after
Absolutely,
this.
yeah. So once he gets out of the water, the police are there to chase him down.
High five. him.
Because there's nothing better for us to do
Yeah.
Yeah, of
than
course,
chase
no.
down the guy on the boogie
Could you
board.
imagine?
Yeah.
He just rips some waves.
Yeah.
He's having the best time, right? Fighting the
He
current.
probably invented new moves.
Yeah, and he gets out and he's throwing like the shaka up, you
Definitely,
know?
double
and then
shakas.
and then he gets tased.
Yeah,
You know,
so
like what a terrifying ending.
He runs, he gets onto the sand dunes.
Mm-hmm.
An officer catches up with him. He fights the officer to the ground. He ends up getting
Yes.
charged with violating double red flags, obstruction of justice, resisting arrest, and battery of a law enforcement
I
officer.
think th-
I would take that charge, the first one, just to have it.
oh,
Even
100%
if I didn't
violating
commit
double red flags.
Yeah.
Bro, I know we brought back the shame corner and all the other variations. This guy's going in the fame
I
corner.
think he goes in the fame
100%.
corner.
Fame corner. What's his name? Do you have his name?
Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah.
It is Garrison Creamer.
No, it's not.
That's quite
38 years old.
Garrison
Hey,
Creamer.
still got time.
Come on.
Birthday boy just turned
Josh
38.
is pointing at me. I just turned 38. I will
Yesterday.
never, no matter what I accomplish in life, though, man, no matter what kind of platform we've built here on the show, my name is never going to be as cool as Garrison Creamer.
You can change it. Wayne Creamer?
That sounds really good,
That
actually.
does
Could
sound,
you
that does
imagine?
sound better.
Yeah, no, that sounds.
Yeah, like a king barista.
It sounds like a joke that we can't say on the show, but I will say this: this guy 100% has his nipples pierced. After seeing that
Oh my
photo,
gosh,
you know
100%.
for a fact, it's
Nips
bolted.
are pierced, chain wallet,
Oh yeah, this
Yeah.
guy skateboards to
blonde
work.
tips.
Yeah. So did he go to jail?
Yeah, he did.
That's oh, because of the fighting the cop.
If he's-
It's the fighting the cop thing, I
Clearly, he
think, was
should
the
have
real
thrown
thing.
sand in their face.
Easily, bro. I followed a cop for less reasons, but I think if he's still there, we should bail him out.
Absolutely.
Is he still
Well,
there?
that's the Patreon money is for that, isn't it?
That's what,
Yeah.
honestly,
We've
the
been bailing
Patreon
out.
pays for our lawyers, all the stuff we say controversially on
Well,
the show.
I mean, they're looking at what they pay for.
yeah, exactly. That is
This
true.
beautiful set.
Yeah.
All right, so this guy goes in the fame corner.
All right. Second headline: Florida man loses his arm to 10-foot alligator while peeing behind a bar.
Okay.
And
Huh.
He goes potty.
so the bar closes,
Okay.
and he's got to pee.
Yeah.
Okay.
I gotta
So-
pee right now.
So he walks behind the bar,
Okay.
What's this
and
bar called, though?
it's Banditos.
Okay. I thought it would be like something
Okay.
like cool, like
Yep, Banditos.
Gator Bites or something.
Banditos
Creamers.
in Port Charlotte. He goes behind the bar, and he falls in.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's the
falls
key
into the water.
ingredient. Yep.
It is also alligator mating season, which is quoted in
You
the
have to be
article.
careful.
I feel like if
from-
I'm an alligator, every season is mating season.
Might as
Come
well be.
on. As a human, I agree.
Yeah.
Florida Fish and Wildlife is quoted in the article saying May and June is mating
Hot.
season, depending on the temperature.
Yeah.
So it's not uncommon to see gators in strange places looking for love.
Come
Banditos.
on. One thing Gators and I have in common.
So he so he falls in and he gets the lower half of his right arm bit off.
Okay.
He's quoted saying he doesn't remember anything.
No.
I think he
okay.
may have been drinking.
Oh,
It's-
well,
it's a-
he
it's a
left, he
guess.
left the bar.
yeah, that's a.
It's a
yeah.
den of sin.
But
Amen.
thankfully, somebody jumped in.
Okay.
They saved him from the gator. They pulled him out.
Wow.
Oh, it wasn't like an instantaneous rip and tear.
Yeah, what I
No.
feel confused about is the article doesn't give us the name of the hero of the story.
Oh,
That is odd. And it
wow.
shows you how media is just so focused on the negative, right?
Absolutely.
So it's a reluctant hero.
Of
Yeah.
course. Maybe the guy said, like, hey, no pictures. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I
probably.
mean? I'm the
Yeah.
hero, but not the one
I'm
you need
here.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so this guy, here's the thing. You go potty, he wakes up with his
Well,
arm gone in the
obviously, that's
hospital.
an illegal place to potty.
You don't do that. You can't do that.
Poisoning the water
Yeah,
system.
but they kicked him out, I think, because it had closed.
Okay.
And maybe
so
he had said, hey, can I pee first? And they were like, use the lake in the back.
You've had enough.
Oh, used to lake in the
You
back.
can go
yeah.
around back, and then the gator was like, "Joke's on you."
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
here for love.
But
Mm-hmm.
I still feel like this guy doesn't deserve the shame corner though, because I don't know, man. I've been there.
Was it arm? He said arm, right? Because
The
I feel
lower
like
half.
there's a
Lower right
ratio.
arm. Lower
Yeah.
right
Like,
arm.
If I'm like here, I didn't lose an arm. I lost a hand.
I lost
Mm-hmm.
a wrist.
If I'm between elbow and wrist, then call it a hand.
I see what
Because
you're
you
saying.
can still bend your bow.
Yeah,
You can bend the bow.
bingo. Yeah,
right
Post elbow,
arm.
arm.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
That's just me and my medical studies.
So if it says lower right arm, does that mean
Yeah,
you think
it's
the
up
bite
there.
is here?
It's got to be up
Lower
there.
part above the elbow?
He got
Okay.
that good tricep meat.
Okay, but I think that's why the gator left, though. He had his fill. Or
Oh,
maybe
you
he
think
was just saying,
a
like,
10-footer is filled with 3.5 pounds of tricep.
I guess it depends on how fatty this guy's arm was.
Yeah.
If it was pure muscle, he's probably chewing on it for a bit.
Oh yeah.
Like see, in my house, I only eat fine marble Japanese steak.
Way good.
So so I don't know what it means to have like tough meat or bad meat or whatever. It melts in my mouth.
Yeah.
This guy though, this gator, he had some tough meat that night. I think.
He's never had a stew.
No.
No, why would I? Here's the thing though. Let's hold the reservation for the Shame Corner, possibly for the gator, or the bar owner who put the guy behind there to go potty.
I honestly think the bar owner could have let him use their toilet.
I agree.
Well, I don't know.
Somebody
that's
lost
been
their
there all
arm over
night.
that.
They're angry, disgruntled for leaving. They're gonna whiz all over.
That is true.
I
The
hear you,
aim
but
won't be
they
true.
also gave you a bunch of money.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I would, if people are going to pay me a bunch of money, I'll clean up their pee.
Okay, that's great.
Well, that's a saying that we haven't had on the podcast.
We need to write that down though, because when we're selling the episode, we're gonna say Michael Mutz. If people are gonna give me lots of money, I'll clean up their pee.
Yeah.
Out of context, that's how we do it.
I can see your point with Shame Corner for the gator because
Right.
that's not attractive.
It's bad behavior. We've talked about this before with our gator population. If you want people to trust you and to love you, you got to stop eating their arms.
Yeah,
You
and
can't do that kind of stuff.
I think
man.
Michael said that a bunch.
I did actually.
Yeah, but the
It's in my
bar
journal.
the bar owner, I will say, so far out of the two headlines, the bar owner is the one I'm closest to putting in the Shame Corner.
100%.
It's a party foul.
Yeah, it's 2 against 1
at
here,
least.
Mutz.
I'm going bar owner.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. So temporarily,
yeah. He
bar
got
owners,
paid to clean up that pee.
Yeah, true.
so he can spend the night in the Shame Corner.
Yeah.
Yep.
Peking.
All right. So headline 3 and 4. Let's see. You brought 4 or 3?
I brought a fourth, but the fourth is maybe just good enough on just the headline.
I got you.
Let's
So
go.
we'll make a decision on the Shame Corner at the end.
Third one.
Yeah.
This one's a
He's
good
already
one.
giggling.
Naked Florida man
Yes.
starts house fire while baking cookies on a George Foreman grill in his home.
Come on.
But
This
it's not
is in-
baking.
This is in Niceville, Florida. Yeah, he thinks it's baking.
Yeah, strike one.
Can you say the town again?
Niceville.
That doesn't sound real, does it?
No.
And
Now,
we've
where
heard.
is this?
I've
heard of
You guys
Christmas
have had
Town?
Niceville.
We've had a
you've talked about
Niceville?
Niceville on here.
I went to a conference recently where I learned this. This guy had memory techniques where he was teaching how to
Tell us about
memorize
it.
stuff.
What was his name?
Tommy. And I
Ron.
memorized.
He goes by Tommy. He goes by Tommy. It's
Yeah.
not a doctorate.
No, it's just Tommy Remember. And I remembered every city in Florida, and I don't remember Niceville.
Yeah. I think this is a lie, and you tried to get us. You tried to prank us.
Guys.
Niceville doesn't exist.
Well, okay. The
I
room
mean
is saying Niceville exists. Okay. Well,
Not only does it exist, but you've talked about it on this show.
well, we talk about
Is it pleasant? No.
we talk about a lot of stuff.
I don't know.
All right. So this guy. Sorry.
All right, so the firemen are first to show up.
Okay.
I guess they're knocking on the door.
There's a big chain of events that
Yep,
happened.
5:30 p.m.
Okay.
Because they see smoke coming out from inside.
Come on.
They're knocking on the door, I guess.
Yep.
sorry.
Naked man opens the door.
Okay, let me pause.
Yeah.
5:30 and already making cookies?
I know.
So what's your commute? Like 3 minutes?
No, 5:30 p.m.
Yeah. So he just got off of work
Right.
and he's already home baking cookies.
He's hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But he's naked, and that's. I just want to go ahead and jump in there. That's his priority. That's his prerogative. It's his house. He can be.
Well, you're
naked.
only a nudist if you're outside.
Come on. There you go.
yeah, that's true.
The firefighters
He
say,
is in his
"Whoa."
house.
Yeah.
The firefighter's
So
like,
he's just
"Hey, you
naked.
look great. What's going on?"
So he opens the door and he
Naked.
just goes, "I'm sorry," and then he closes the door.
Thank you. That's why we're here. We're just checking to see if you're apologetic.
Yeah, and he is.
So they end up, they're knocking on the door still because
Okay.
it's still on fire. And he opens the door again. This time he leaves it open.
Yeah.
They come in.
Come on,
What had
man.
ended up happening was he took some cookies.
Okay.
He laid them on the grill.
Yep.
He walked away.
Okay.
So they caught on fire.
Mm-hmm.
To fight the fire, he dropped a bunch of dry towels on it.
Okay.
I get it. I get
Which
it.
then-
Smother it.
Because they tell
Remove
you.
the oxygen.
Right.
Mhm.
Come on.
Don't put watery towels on it.
That's
Water and
what
vinegar
we've
don't
heard.
mix.
When they
Yeah.
when they come to the elementary school to teach you how to fight fire and how to escape fire. That's
Yeah.
one of the tips I remember.
When they brought the trailer in.
Yes.
You had to crawl through
yes.
the trailer.
Oh, I forgot about that. And I
fun,
actually
man.
asked one of the youths
Yeah.
if they still do that, and they don't do it.
They don't bring the trailer?
They don't bring the trailer and have them crawl through the
Who's
house
got
on
the
fire.
trailer now?
When I was a kid growing up, every night before I went to bed, I would rehearse how I would escape a house fire,
A tiny house fire.
which is really healthy for
I
kids.
bet you still do that.
Yeah, I still
Yeah.
do that.
house.
And so to hear that our children, the youth of America, don't have that training baffles me.
It's scary,
It's
It's
honestly.
very scary.
yeah.
Yeah.
Shame corner.
Well, I mean,
The youth,
it's unbelievable.
The American government's going in the shame corner.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The man did admit
Okay.
that beginning at 9 a.m.,
Mm.
he did drink 2 liters of vodka and smoked marijuana.
Can we just say this on the show if you're
Yeah.
listening? Because we have
Let's
a lot
hear
of
it.
sponsors and folks from the state who
Preach.
who like our show. I just want to say this. If you've done that sort of thing and the EMTs, they're on the cops team, by the way. So the
Not
cops or the
always.
EMTs are at your house. You don't have to say you've been drinking all day. Just say I was cooking badly and the house caught fire.
What's
you
the
don't have to
illegal
admit
act here,
I
though?
love cookies.
Yeah.
And my oven was broken.
I was under the impression I could drink as much as I want in my house.
Yeah, that's legal.
Yeah,
and I could
100%.
light my house on fire
Yeah, the Lord made it.
via negligence.
Right. So did
Hypothetically.
this man go to jail for it?
Undetermined.
Okay.
They brought him out of the house, and
Yeah.
the medical advisors took a look at him.
We're gonna pay for his
your
legal fees.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Inhalation
Yes.
problems. I bet those cookies, though.
They
pretty good.
If you like them burnt,
Yeah. I
really,
mean,
really burnt.
I like them in all forms.
Come on. We don't shame on this
Starts
show.
as cookie dough, ends with me.
That's right.
You know what? I forgot. I do have I've got a bonus headline.
That's what I'm talking about.
A bonus story.
Okay.
Florida man allegedly tries to break into home after wildly fleeing from a motel ghost. Um,
Motel ghost would be the scariest.
Yeah, of course.
yeah.
Yep. So they had checked into the motel. He
Okay.
and this girl that I think he didn't know all that well.
Okay.
That's okay.
And they
Probably prom night.
Yeah.
well, 38 years old and 36 years
That's
old.
you again.
That's me again, baby.
Yeah.
I would go to prom again.
Florida's having trouble with our 38-year-olds.
Yeah, aren't we?
So they run because
Okay.
they thought they saw a shadow. They
I
did have
like
time.
this.
They did have time to stop by the front desk to ask for a refund.
Good.
That puts into question the sincerity of the claim.
It does.
If I'm honest.
They couldn't.
Yes.
They didn't get the refund.
Right.
They kept going.
Ghost is a reason on the list we won't refund you.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay.
It's explicit. I think it's in the contract.
Yeah.
Right.
So they run. They start banging on the door, and somebody comes to the door because they hear people yelling, "Help me!"
Yeah.
Of course.
And
I'm looking
the-
through
the-
peephole.
Right.
The woman living there, she gets scared. She runs back into her house, but she does shout at them that she's going to grab a knife,
Okay.
and she threatened to use it on them if
This is a
they didn't go away.
This
is
is a
Florida.
mighty chain of events.
So
Yep.
Florida,
A
though.
go-
This is so Florida. We're not
Yeah.
done yet.
This couple meets,
motel.
falls in love.
Yeah.
They go to the hotel sanctimoniously. They see a ghost, and which could be the Lord if we're being honest, right?
Could've
Maybe,
been.
the Holy
maybe it's
Spirit.
like you're going to regret this.
incarnate?
You're going to regret this decision. Scare. They leave.
Why wouldn't the Holy Spirit just marry them then?
No, it was you're going to regret this unless you get married.
Wow.
Then send someone to marry us because
And-
we're going to do this act.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so then they go to this person's house. She defends herself with a knife. Then what
Well,
happens?
she says, "I'll use the knife."
Verbally, yes.
When the cops arrived, they found the man lying on the ground. He was bloody and he was crying in pain.
Oh
But,
my
But the article
God.
says they're not sure what happened.
I can surmise.
Yeah,
Yep,
go ahead,
I
Josh.
could
How do you-
surmise too. What do you think?
Stabbed
Yeah,
with the knife
100%.
mentioned 2 seconds earlier.
She's like, remember how I told you to not come into my house?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When the police are interviewing him, he does say, "I heard children, so I decided to not come in."
Okay.
yeah, well,
what-
and the stab wound.
Yeah, I think it may have been the stab wound.
Him crying is the children.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
I feel like I could be stabbed and not notice, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Well, you
Like I got
would
some extra material.
you would feel that way if you knew one more thing about the story. They
Oh,
did
no.
admit that ecstasy was involved.
Stop telling
I
the
would do
cops about your
ecstasy,
drugs.
too. Yeah.
The cops don't bring test kits to the location.
No,
You don't have to
no.
say anything,
And
bro.
I have a life of regrets,
Okay.
and not doing ecstasy is one of them.
Well, you still got time.
I'll say this:
You're still young.
I do think maybe because of the ecstasy, the Holy Spirit didn't marry them.
Come on.
Oh, he's like, wait a minute. You two
can't-
just met?
No.
And you're on drugs?
Yeah, not on X. You can
Not
get
on
married
X,
on X.
yeah.
Or Molly.
Well, you want to make a sound decision,
Right.
Yeah,
like
true.
when you hear kids in the house, don't break in,
100%.
and also the
Ah.
knife.
100%. I'll tell you this, man. So I was spending the night with my uncles this one time.
Yeah.
And I thought I saw a ghost. Their Freddie Mercury record kept playing, and it
Yeah.
started skipping.
What song?
I don't recall now.
Yeah.
And I saw a ghost, and so I ran out of the house, and there nothing could have stopped me, man. I was just going down the street as fast as I could ever gone in my life, barefoot too, which added speed. And I look back at that, and I'm thinking, man, like I relate to this, dude.
Yeah.
I see a ghost, I'm out of there, bro. I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying? So
You're not going to try to communicate.
I don't think so, man. And this guy gets stabbed for it. I don't think he should be anywhere near the shame corner. Man suffered
Mike,
enough.
you got any experiences with ghosts? Did they like armbar you and break one of them radius or oldness?
You know,
If one of your bone breaks was from a ghost, dude, it's just gonna be legendary.
That's super weak.
I know.
Like you're so weak.
yeah. Well, there was a ghost
Come on, I
knew
knew it.
Is it in the house that you bought?
that was trying to break my arm. The problem was he
Couldn't.
kept going through me,
Yeah, he couldn't get
Okay.
grip.
so you couldn't
He's
get
like,
a grip.
He's like, stay right there.
So I was fine.
Okay.
He did push my motorcycle over though, and I don't know
Oh
why
my
he couldn't grab
gosh.
me, but he
Yeah.
could push the motorcycle.
yeah.
So that did end in a
I
in a
think it's
broken hip.
soulless beings. They can connect with other soulless beings.
Okay,
That's why I don't read Harry Potter.
That's it.
You gotta be
precisely
careful.
why.
Hey, fellas.
Joshua.
So I was recently in an event that had an angry crowd.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And
A Trump rally.
well, it was close.
Okay.
It was melting pot. And I don't know what kind of shakes like the sunglasses or the shades away from the glory of a melting pot, as if the power goes off
Okay.
and you realize you just got pokers and veggies
That's right. Yeah, you can't. All the
And
meat's
hard
raw.
cheese.
and hard cheese.
Right.
Ugh.
And then like slowly people start to get up and go, I'm not paying for this.
Yeah.
I can't dip my stuff.
I'm not buying hard cheese.
I'm not buying hard cheese.
Yeah.
And so, I was on a date and there was an angry mob
Okay. At a melting pot.
at a melting pot.
Okay.
A lot of button up shirts
Yeah.
and starched clothing.
Texas Day Brazil.
So I got my money back, which was nice.
Okay.
They did give me a to-go of hard cheese and said, just reheat it. It's the same.
Yeah. When you get home, microwave it.
Yeah, but it didn't taste the same. It's
No.
something about the ambiance
One-
of having a something in the table.
Yes, I
Instead
agree.
of like on the table.
Right.
Yep.
But talking to Mike this week, he mentioned that he was almost chased down by a crowd. And that's I thought when he told me a snippet, I go, if this is a bit, it's great. If it's real, it's even better.
Can I just
And I wanna
say,
hear it.
I haven't heard Michael's story, okay? I don't know what he's about to tell, but I can just tell you, the listener, the fact that Josh compared it to an angry crowd at the melting pot
They
because the
were.
cheese wouldn't melt.
Well,
is
everybody
incredible.
is at different levels in the melting pot. Some
Right.
are on the broth phase,
Right.
some are the dessert phase.
Come on. Oh, yes.
But I was right at the beginning, at the cheese phase.
you were at the beginning of your journey.
Yeah.
And they cut you off.
Yeah, so there are different temperaments.
Right. I see what you're
And
saying.
temperatures.
So that's so that's really good.
Thank you.
Double T's.
So Mike, tell us about this.
Accosted
Yeah,
by a melting
so-
pot crowd?
So this is actually 100% true. This did happen.
This is
what
not a
scared
bit.
me.
This is good. Okay.
I was in college,
Okay.
and I was known for doing mission trips.
Okay.
And it was back in 2010 when the earthquake in Haiti.
Yeah.
That's right.
Had just devastating
Leveled it.
destruction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Halfway
They called
through.
you MTG for mission trip guy.
Yes.
Exactly.
Right.
It
So-
took me a while to make that. In my head.
You did great. The dean of our College of Religion had an organization, and Royal Caribbean came to Florida, and they
Okay.
said, we would like. They have a port in the north part of Haiti. They said we would like to bring supplies for free down to Haiti.
Nice.
Who should we partner with? And Florida said the dean of our College of Religion.
Wow. So
Wow.
it's called the Clinton Foundation, you said.
Almost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's weird what doesn't make the news.
Right. Which this is a
Right?
great story.
Yeah.
Uplifting stuff.
A submarine imploding. Boom.
Yeah.
News.
Right. But this
Well,
is great.
It was with a game controller is how it was
Yeah.
controlled.
The
so-
Logitech
yeah.
LH70.
So for whatever reason, they asked me, the dean, and like one of the
MTG.
upper guys is like, hey, will you come down to Haiti with us?
Yeah.
Of course.
I say absolutely yes. Why,
Yeah.
why would I say
But
no?
I
So
can't
was-
drive a cruise ship.
I
Right.
can't drive a cruise ship.
Yeah.
So a month after it happens, we drive down to Fort Lauderdale. There wasn't really a way to get in and out of the country, but they had found some propeller plane that could fly us there. We got to the airport
Scary.
to check in.
Yeah.
The plane's not there. And we're at the counter, and they're like, "We're actually not sure where the plane is.
The plane that's flying us.
Could you come
lost it.
back tomorrow?"
On the way in, it
A
was
whole
going,
day's
it was
lost.
going over the Bermuda Triangle. You said
Maybe so.
Okay.
So we come back the next day. They're like, "We did find the plane.
Okay.
It
Thank
does.
God,
It needs
yeah.
to be repaired. Come back tomorrow."
I don't like that.
No.
Strike one, you lost it.
I'm going
Strike
back
two,
to
it needs to be
Lakeland.
repaired.
So
Yeah.
on day 3, we show up, and somebody just stands up with a piece of paper behind the check-in counter and reads our names off.
Okay.
Huh.
And opens the door behind the check-in counter that walks right out onto the tarmac at
No,
the
I'm uncomfortable.
Fort Lauderdale
Yeah.
Airport, and we just get in. Nobody checks me for anything.
No.
Wow.
We get in the airplane. We fly down to Haiti.
Drugs.
We're in Cape Haitian, the north part of Haiti,
Right.
and we drive to where the terminal is for where the cruise ship comes
Nice.
in.
Right.
Yeah, with all the goodies.
And we're there to film the cruise ship arriving, taking off all these supplies from his organization.
Yeah.
Cool.
They're loading them all up into trucks, and then they're driving them from there down to the south part of Haiti where the earthquake was.
Right.
Oof.
So we, the UN was there, and we did try
With their light blue hats.
They were there with their light blue hats.
I want one of
in
those.
in
Cool.
Cape Haitian, and they were having troubles with the supply lines because they were leaving where the cruise ship came in,
Yep.
and then they were
jacked.
they were getting jacked.
If
Yeah.
I'm honest, if I'm a local, I know where this stuff needs to go better than you do.
Right.
100%.
I'm
me
jacking
carry
it. I'm jacking everybody.
Right.
We're at the north part, wasn't affected by the earthquake, but these people are watching
Yeah.
truckloads and truckloads of supplies
Yeah.
go by.
Yeah.
I think a cruise ship with goods.
Yeah.
So they had asked the UN, could you protect these so that we can bring it down to the south part of Haiti?
We
And
need more guns.
True, yeah.
Unfortunately, the UN told them no.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So
And-
once you're out of the gates, you're on your own.
You're on your own. So
Yeah.
I don't want to make any judgments, but
Yeah.
we drove around there for a few days.
We will.
And the UN didn't look like they had a lot going on.
No.
Okay. Bored.
Right.
Like
They looked a
Rubik's
little bored,
Cubes,
but
Game Boys.
Thankfully,
Yeah.
the guy who was driving us around, he owned a lot of gas stations, and he also owned a security company. So
That's really
good
convenient.
guy to
So,
know.
yeah,
it
yeah.
is.
So he owned some security company. So we're in his truck. We drive down, whatever.
Yeah.
We do this film stuff,
Cool.
and we leave. And we're driving up the hill, and we're kind of in between two little communities.
Okay.
Our
Yeah.
tire pops.
Do you have goods in the?
We don't
vehicle?
have any goods,
Okay.
but we are in this guy's expensive looking car.
Okay.
The tire
okay.
pops.
Yeah.
And we jump out, and the other people with me are older, and they're like, "Just you need to change the
Oh
tire.
yeah. The
You're
youth.
young.
Right.
Yeah, get down there and change
Yeah,
the tire."
The youth of the
So
nation.
we're changing the
POD
tire.
said.
And we see this crowd gathering, and like they were throwing rocks at us on the way in. And
No
stuff like that.
way.
Okay.
So this community is gathering up the hill,
Yep.
and we're watching.
The same folks who were
Not the
previously throwing
welcome
rocks.
rocks.
Yeah.
Not
no.
welcome rocks. No. Mm-mm. I had expected welcome rocks, but I was
Yeah.
looking, and everyone that hit the window said, "Shame, shame, shame.
Yeah.
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 We hate you. Yeah.
Give
yeah.
us the food."
Yeah.
Give us the goodies.
So the crowd's kind of gathering, and like the older guys are like, "Hey, man, you should speed this up."
The
Honestly,
rocks are
if you
getting
see
bigger.
someone throwing rocks, I'm gonna be like, "What are they throwing rocks at? Maybe I should throw a rock at it."
Right
Right.
around the same moment, one of the trucks comes barreling around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
10 guys are on the back of it. One guy's trying to get into the cab.
Oh,
The rest of the guys are throwing supplies off the back of the truck, and another
for
guy.
the other guys to like be ready.
Yeah, they're trying to just take the entire truck.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like changing the tire as fast as I can.
Yeah.
The crowd starts coming down the hill to get us.
Holy.
Our security guy
Holy.
whips his gun out in the air and starts screaming in Haitian at everybody.
Oh my gosh.
I finished the
what?
tire at that exact same time.
Wow.
Hop into our car. We take off. We just left the driver who was getting jacked there, which that's shame
Okay,
on us
yeah,
for that.
Yeah. You didn't have to admit it. I mean, you could have just
But
said.
thank you though.
Yeah.
Thank you for your honesty.
Yeah.
I'm
Sure,
just
that's
if I had done ecstasy, I would have told the cops.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. But you said he had picked up some of the rocks for self-defense.
Uh-huh.
So
We
he was
I
okay.
actually had made a pile of rocks for him. I was like, "Hey man, we can't take you, but use these."
Yeah.
Duck behind this. Okay.
Goodness.
So we jump in, we go through the crowd. He goes really fast, like people were trying to stand in front of us, but
probably
to their
didn't,
better
yeah.
judgment,
They got
They
out
they
of
did
the
move
way.
out of the
Shifted.
way. I think
Yeah.
I think they realized he was not going to.
This guy's not
Yeah,
stopping.
he's a local.
But he did whip his gun out and fire a round or two.
Yeah,
Oh,
good.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
One 100%, dude.
I feel like it's a little less intense than what I dealt with.
Well, I was going to say when I hear your story,
It's scary.
I would rather have been in Haiti.
I know, me too.
Wow.
Yeah,
You'd rather
post-
face
Earthquake.
an angry mob of Haitians.
Than rich white people eating cheese.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Cheese and wine, white people are the worst.
How long did it take you when you arrived back at your where were you staying at? I'm assuming like a church or something.
We were staying in
Radisson.
in this guy's abandoned his semi-abandoned mansiony thing.
Okay, like a fortress.
It was kind of like a fortress.
So
Yeah.
so you get back to your fortress. How long did it take you to like calm down or register like what had happened? Like was your blood
Okay.
spiked? Like you were ready to go?
I
Like,
don't know. I like doing extreme things, so
That's what I'm talking about.
to be honest, I wasn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't all that worried. Except it was more like a game. Like you've got to finish this tire,
Now,
or
did you-
you're
do
gonna
you-
get beat.
Do you think
kidnapped.
you broke a world record in tire changing? Not Rubik's Cube.
Because we did discuss
'Cause-
before coming on the
yeah,
air.
it's not
Michael
Speed
can,
Cube.
Michael can do Rubik's Cube, and Jesse, who's here with us as well, can also do one. They're going to race.
Yeah,
after
we
the
hang
show.
out with really cool guys.
Jesse and I have raced, and he's faster.
Okay, so you put the tire on faster than you ever had before.
So there wasn't a Guinness World Book of Records person there,
right.
but I had talked to one or two reps,
Of course.
said
yeah.
that
and
was
they
fast.
they said
Yeah.
it would have been
They
in,
go,
it
what?
would have
Okay.
been in the
They
book.
go, is this a Lexus GX?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
then this is 6 lugs. Yeah, then the time limit's 2 minutes.
Yep.
But no one recorded it.
Well, and what they said was it's too hard to compare it because the other people changing tires didn't have a mob coming after them.
I see what
Duress-
you're saying.
duress
So they said it
should
would
not
be in a different
no.
category.
If I broke it, duress doesn't matter, is what I always say.
Yeah.
Well, and I just want to preface something. Josh had texted me and he said, "Hey, like, I need you to bring a story of like a time that you were scared." So immediately I'm like, okay, like I went to a couple revivals where they were casting out demons and stuff, and that was
Yeah.
pretty scary.
Well, you didn't want the demon transfer.
Right, but then he goes, Mike's bringing a story where he was chased by a Haitian mob, and I was like, I'm not
While
bringing a
changing
story.
a
I can't compete with
tire.
that, bro. All my stuff is very like I don't know, like
Vanilla?
vanilla. Yeah, so that's incredible, dude.
One time he bought double stuffed Oreos and they were regular stuff.
Well, that was I knew you were gonna bring up trauma on the show. I'm still dealing with that.
Did you mail in to Oreo and
Yeah, if you just write them or email them, they'll
No,
send you.
I just
coops.
ate them and went to sleep.
Of course you did.
so you don't even have evidence?
All right, so usually when we do a story here, it's something historic. It's happened.
That's why people are here in this segment now.
That's right. They want to hear a
right.
history
Yeah.
of Florida, and we're going to get there tonight. I'm going to get to a historic portion from our state's history, but I want to open up with a similar story that just happened 10 years ago, and then I'm going to tie it all in at the end. These stories are related.
Shyamalan and us.
I am going to Shyamalan you tonight. There was a man named George Kinney. He was a principal of a school here in Florida.
Okay.
And approximately 10 years ago, people noticed that he had what you would call what appeared to be a very healthy relationship with the students. Okay.
Okay.
All the
Well,
kids
I-
loved him.
What do you mean by healthy?
Like kids felt close to him.
Oh, it's not like the presidential fitness exam? Like he
No,
was coaching kids?
They weren't fit in that way.
Yeah.
It was more like everybody was like drawn to this guy. They just loved him.
Okay.
You never heard anything bad about Principal Kenny. Okay.
Okay.
They loved him. Also, some of the staff. Unfortunately, around this time, a student at the school passes away. And the school's mourning, and the principal comes forward and he says to some folks who are gathered, hey, I don't know when's the proper time to say this, but yesterday, the kid who passed away, yesterday I hypnotized him in my classroom.
Now's not the good time to say it.
It's a
Yeah.
horrible time.
He goes,
Worst time to say it.
I hypnotized him. I don't think it has anything to do with anything, but just I wanted you to know.
Well, it depends on how the passing happened.
Yeah. So
It's true.
it was self-inflicted.
Well, then it's not good.
It's not a
Not
no.
good.
Not good. Yeah, it's a window of time, and it's not
Right.
It's too close.
Fast forward a little bit.
Okay.
Was anyone asking questions about
Or
the,
he
about
just,
being
like-
hypnotized,
And
or,
I-
or
and
he
I-
just volunteered it like the
He
guys
just,
on
no,
there?
he
volunteered
just dumped it out there.
Yep.
Fast forward a little bit, and this is true. It's I'm reading a USA Today headline right now.
Fact.
They fast forward a little bit. A different student passes away, similar circumstances, and Principal Kinney comes forward and goes, "Hey,
Same group of people.
listen,
It's like, let me gather you.
I don't know if it's important or not, but I also hypnotized her.
Okay. Please stop.
And then it comes out.
Also a self-inflicted wound.
Yeah, that was. So here's the thing: from 2009
Uh-oh.
to 2011, he hypnotized 75 people in one-on-one settings. Some were students, some were teachers. In total, 3 of those kids passed away in similar fashion.
As
shortly after he hypnotized them.
as men who have been on cruises,
Right.
that's the only time I've seen the act, the hypnotism act.
I've never done it just because of it weirds me out. Yeah, I
You
don't
never
like
done
it.
the hypnotizing or the participating?
Both.
Yeah.
You mean you've never done it where you remember?
Well, there you go.
wow.
Maybe I have done it and I just don't remember.
You're
But-
hypnotized right now, buddy.
Yeah, Josh told me he hypnotized you 4 years ago.
Where am I?
That's how this podcast
how-
came to be.
Yeah.
Wait a second. No, so this guy, the school board ends up settling. The families of the deceased received like $250,000, and the principal was fired from his job. It was this whole ordeal.
Shocking.
Now,
Yeah, you can't admit that you're closely connected to that.
right, and you also can't, as a teacher, as a leader of the school, like hypnotize children.
Is there a certification? Are you a professional?
Yeah, I
Are there
don't-
professional hypnotists?
I don't think so. And kind of in the same way, there's not professional like doctors. You know what I mean? It's all make believe.
Yeah, it's just paper.
Right. So
Right, Michael?
Absolutely.
okay, there he is. He said it.
I walk with a limp after I broke my hip
See,
There you
that's
go.
why.
because there's no professional doctors.
Right.
They
That's it.
said just let it get better.
Yeah.
It'll grow.
Just lay down for a little bit.
It'll grow out.
So I say I want you guys to hang on to that. As I'm reading our story from tonight, I want you to remember the headline I just shared with you guys.
Okay.
So the interesting thing is, this isn't the first time that a leader of sorts hypnotizing folks in Florida has made the news.
Okay.
Okay. In 1837,
Oh,
in the small town of Apalachicola, Florida, a preacher by the name of John Green arrived by ferry boat in October of that year. Okay, so this preacher shows up
yes.
on this ferry boat, and I want to paint a picture of Apalachicola, Florida. It's in the Panhandle. As of right now, like modern day, there's only 2,300 residents. Okay, so in the early 1800s,
23.
yeah, we're talking like a
It's
couple
linear,
hundred.
yeah.
Yeah, a couple hundred folks are in this town. And so there's like one schoolhouse, one church, very like little house on the prairie vibes is what it's giving here. But the way things worked in Pioneer, Florida was that the preacher kind of acted almost like a mayor of sorts. So it wouldn't
Like
be,
a male horse.
yes, and also the overseer of activities.
Yep.
Okay, so same
Or is
en-
that a female horse?
same energy.
don't
I think
know.
it's the female, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But so it wouldn't be that surprising to see like the preacher like teaching in the school,
Of course.
and then running like a town hall later on. The
Yeah.
preacher kind of oversaw the town.
yeah.
So in 1836, a year prior to this, the preacher here in Apalachicola had passed away. So a few of the town elders they reached out to the national Episcopal overseers, and they requested a new pastor.
Of course.
Like, hey, our pastor's he's gone, he's passed away. We need somebody new. And this is where John Green steps in. So John Green, he arrives via ferry. He gets off, and pretty much everybody in town is like waiting there to meet him. It's a
course.
big deal.
Yeah.
This is their leader. It's his,
Ferry doesn't stop here normally.
no, right. And now you're dropping off a holy man, a new holy man. And so he's shaking hands, he's kissing babies, and it looks like he's winning people over kind of one by one already. He's younger, more charismatic, more attractive than the other
Man, I
priest
really-
was.
Who
Picture that.
voted on him being more attractive?
Everybody.
Everybody that
And
saw
also-
They
it.
just passed
and also
yeah.
me.
They,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you've looked up pictures of both.
There's
of
a
them.
a woodcut.
Yeah, well, and there's a wood carving of him. No, and the quotes from the paper says that everybody kept saying "ay caramba" when he came off the
Okay. Yeah.
off
I
the ferry.
do think I read that article.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. So John Green, the minister, he gets off this ferry, and this is a quote from the paper at the time. It says that it appeared to be a welcoming parade. The quote says the entire town followed John Green to
What
the
else
steps.
they got to do?
There's
They
not
don't-
much
they got
going on.
Nothing going on.
His school's out already.
Yeah.
It's probably in the
It's
summer.
3 p.m.
Well, they follow him. This is the day one, fresh off the boat. They follow him to the Episcopal Church where he holds an impromptu service on a Wednesday afternoon.
Okay.
So
I mean, there's Wednesday night church, so
Yeah,
it's not
close
really
enough.
that out.
Pretty
out.
Pentecostal.
Too far out
Yeah.
there.
they started 4 hours early. But it is, if I'm this guy and I get off from my new gig and the whole town's kind of waiting, immediately I'm like, no, I'm a big deal. This is Barack Obama energy. Like,
Yeah.
I love this, right?
If it's me, I'm like, I'm gonna sleep around.
I'm going to cause some trouble. This town's going downhill pretty fast. I don't know about your last pastor, but I run things differently. And
Different
so,
rules here.
Yeah, right away, this guy is so charming, and it appears the entire town's falling in love with him, but it wasn't actually the case. Witnesses told the paper that it was concerned curiosity at best. They wanted to see if this guy genuinely had Apalachicola's best interest at heart.
Wow.
they can make whatever excuses they want.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they just
they were
wanted to
in
be
love.
there. They wanted to see this guy. As time went by, though, slowly but surely, one by one, the townspeople did in fact fall in love with John Green, and they fell in love with him in a way that wasn't healthy, right? So it wasn't romantic, at least not in most cases, but it was severe infatuation. Like it was cult-like behavior. Everything this guy said and did, they would just like worship this guy, the ground he walked on. And again, like Josh said, there's not a lot going on at this point in Pioneer, Florida. And your old pastor passes away, and this new guy shows up young, attractive. I can see where people are like, "Oh man, times are changing, things are getting good."
Yeah. Our town's getting handsomer.
Right. So all these people, are falling in love with this guy, except for nearly every youth, like every teenager, like 11 to 17, is like, "I don't trust this dude.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about the energy.
Yep.
I'm not going to church anymore. Something's wrong with Pastor Green." Okay.
That's the good thing about kids. They don't see looks.
It's very punk
Like
rock.
they'll never make fun of you for your looks.
No, I've never had that happen to me
teenager.
before. Never happened to me before.
Teenagers are good at looking right into the heart.
Yeah, they are.
They really are.
So they look at the heart of this guy and they go, "I don't like it.
Yeah.
Something's not right." So eventually word gets back to Minister John Green, and he goes, "Look, I would love to meet with these kids one-on-one."
Oh, I bet you would.
And he's like, I
Yeah.
want to sit
I don't
down.
mean it in that way. I mean, he's
But-
probably very convincing.
Right. He goes, "I want to sit down with these kids one-on-one."
Yeah.
But this is true. No parents. Let me have some one-on-one time with each one of these kids,
Yeah.
and they're going to leave changed. They're going to be won over to my side.
Okay.
And so Reverend John Green begins requesting one-on-one meetings with every teenager in Apalachicola. Some of the teens show up on their own accord. They
Okay.
hear the request. They go, "Okay, I'll go in. We'll meet you." But the majority of the teenagers were actually forced to meet with this man because their parents insisted on it.
Ew.
Not a good look on
No.
the town.
Come meet this grown man.
Yeah, he wants to talk to you.
By yourself.
Yeah.
And he
I
goes,
don't
"Why
think
don't you like me?"
Ooh.
The incredibly odd part, though, about the story is that every teenager, within a month's time, began kind of showing the same infatuation with John Green that their parents did. So they would meet with him one-on-one for sometimes multiple sessions, and then they would start like fawning over this guy. Like they'd follow him around town, like almost like the Pied Piper type situation here.
Okay.
Where everywhere
Like when
he
Forrest
went,
Gump ran.
kind of, there's a mob of like local people like loving him.
Yeah. I just want a relevant reference for our audience.
100%.
Pied Piper.
Very similar to Forrest Gump.
Because most of your listeners weren't alive back at this
Piper.
time.
No, they weren't. You're right.
Yeah, mythological times.
Exactly. These kids would walk away from these meetings going, like, "I just love this guy. He's the best thing since ever." In fact,
Because sliced bread wasn't invented.
not yet.
Best thing since ever.
Best thing since we can think of. Best thing since the last preacher.
Yeah.
So this goes on for over 3 years. Where
Wow.
like he's just slowly winning over the entire town, and to the point where like they're just in love with him. And in fact, in 1840, a neighboring publication wrote this. And this is a quote. It says, "The town of Apalachicola is so obsessed with their preacher that it can hardly be called a town at all. It's a cult at best."
Oh my gosh.
So
wow.
he
What a
comes
rivalry.
in, almost like unanimous, like appeal at this
Smitten.
point. He can do no wrong.
I've always wanted to start a cult, and
Thank you.
I'm excited to study. But
Yeah.
We're getting there because
Honestly,
we're
I'd
going to
like
give you
that
the
too.
blueprint on how to
Yeah.
do it.
do you want to join?
Yeah. I like the order.
Oh, perfect.
Tell me what to do.
Yeah, that's why I joined the army.
Yeah.
So eventually, word spreads to the governing body of the Episcopal Church, and they're like, "That doesn't sound healthy."
They don't like superstars.
Yeah, no, they really
Yeah.
don't.
Well,
And
that's
so
why they killed the last pastor. I
Yeah.
think.
Carl
they
Lentz.
did actually.
Don't like superstars. Right?
That's what happened.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
I saw the documentary.
All right. So the Episcopal Church, they send down an investigative team
Yeah.
to the Panhandle
Yeah.
of Florida to go.
Australians.
Can you help us? Yeah. Can you help us figure out what's
Yeah.
going on down there? Why does the whole town love this preacher so much?
Yeah. He wears his pants low.
He's super ripped
He's ripped.
with a cross necklace.
Loves Justin Bieber.
Yeah,
Loves
exactly. After a 3-week-long investigation, it was found that Reverend John Green had broke multiple ideological clauses and this is a quote from the Episcopal Church governing body, he was attempting to form his own following outside of the Church of Christ. So they saw it as cult-like behavior as well. But the kicker here is the church also discovered that he was engaging in hypnotic practices with children and also adults. So they realized after interviewing folks that he was in fact hypnotizing them.
Wow.
It's a much easier way to start a cult than just trying to convince
Thank you,
people
yeah.
just off your own.
It
I don't
really
have a
is.
strong pitch, but just look at the spinny thing.
Yeah, can you just sit in the chair just for a second?
Yeah.
You're getting sleepy. And so John was removed from his post in Apalachicola, but upon his exit and the announcement, 17 families
Wow.
followed John to 5 hours south
Okay. Go
to
on.
the town of Sarasota,
Uh-huh.
where they settled a religious community. This is still pioneering
What's in
days.
Sarasota? Anything big?
Well, the school that has the principal who hypnotized the kids
effing way.
is the same exact town they went and settled
There's a connection.
this
hypnosis
hypnotic
connection.
religious community. Cool.
Wow.
So I find it fascinating that in 2006, there's a principal
Yep.
who casually is hypnotizing the entire school board, like the staff, all
Yeah.
the kids. And then we find out that, over 100 years prior to that,
Yeah.
there was a decent sized cult that relied on hypnosis
Wow.
that settled in the same city.
And they've been just passing down over the years how to
secrets,
hypnotize.
the giftings. Now, what's fascinating about this is none of the articles mention. They just use the term hypnosis.
Yeah.
They don't say, like, none of the witnesses in the court cases say, like, I sat
Wow.
in the chair, he pulled out a pocket watch.
Yep.
Like, no one says anything about that. But the common denominator in both stories is he was hypnotizing people.
Wow.
Which is fascinating. And also very Florida energy.
Definitely. That's
like,
exciting.
It is good Florida energy.
Because I haven't heard of someone being hypnotized, I don't think ever in real life. I've seen
No.
comedians do it and people balk like chickens or whatever.
Yeah.
But to
That's
hear,
as far as the power can go. Though.
I think so.
Unless you're in like the source.
Well, not if you study under the same practices that to start a cult.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And so
I'd like to get there.
It's
Though.
it's just one book, and I actually used it.
Is it? Is it a
That's why
klutz
my wife
book?
married me.
wow,
that how?
That's how
I
you
thought
got her.
I was looking at you two, and I
Yeah,
was like,
you go one is better than the other.
Every time she decided
just-
like she was gonna get up and leave, he would pull his pocket watch out. She would sit back
Yeah.
down
Nope,
again. I
nope,
was like,
nope,
what is
nope.
going on with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you guys this: do you think, not to make light of the situation, but do you think hypnosis would work on you if you were to sit down with Reverend John Green or someone of that nature?
I'll let the guest go.
I'll tell you this: I've always wanted someone to try.
Yeah, wow.
Because like you're so mentally tough, like you could fight it.
Yeah, because I think I would hypnotize them.
Whoa, a
Reverse
reversal.
hypnosis.
Like
I
you're-
like
You're
that.
trying it,
Yeah.
and you're
like,
just so underprepared
Yeah.
for what's here
Yeah.
Right.
that you actually just hypnotize yourself.
Come
for-
on.
Oh, wow.
Like a mirror.
okay. I can say I've been in those shoes.
Okay.
I've been skull grabbed by a local preacher, a traveling preacher.
Come on.
He tried to force me down. Everybody was falling
Yep. Not
along
you.
his path, and then he right on my head, and I straightened my neck.
Well, and the preacher, he was
stiffened it.
shaking Josh's
Yeah.
face, and he turns around, he pulls his lapel mic off, and he goes, "His quads are too strong.
Yeah, little
He
did you
won't
know,
go down."
I did calves that day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
can't
it's
say this
extra strong.
sidebar. I was there for that service, and
Amen.
this
Amen.
is
It's a true story.
It's so
I didn't
true.
go down.
This evangelist comes over to Josh, grabs his face, and Josh just politely takes his glasses off.
Yeah, I dome. Yeah, and he just pushed me down for a minute, and I was like, fuck,
Not
come on.
today.
Not today. And then I sat down.
Yeah, but by your own accord.
Yeah,
Yeah, you chose to.
Yep.
Okay, I will say this, man. I don't necessarily believe in hypnosis.
and that's why I'm agnostic.
Right. I don't necessarily believe in hypnosis.
That one incident.
That one incident.
Yeah, but I do.
I'm like, if God's real and this guy's got the power, it's gonna work on this dome.
Right. Not that
And then
dumb.
these quads kicked in.
Do you think though it's possible? Because when you see the comedy bits and the folks get up and they do
Yeah.
the chicken stuff and,
Yeah.
and whatever, do you think it's more like a group convincing effort,
Like a mob mentality.
I think
that would
so.
Chase
like,
people down.
like you're in Haiti or something.
Mhm.
Like, do you think? Do you
Yep,
think it's like,
yep.
oh, like everybody's helping me believe it, right? Because I think it's a real thing. I think that
I'm a people pleaser. I think I would give in.
to not make them feel
Yeah.
awkward.
Yeah, and they'd be like, "We didn't say nudity," and I'm like, "What?
I thought you wanted
I'm
that.
already here."
Yeah, but I think in Apalachicola, in this case, in the 1830s, like I think it'd be easier to impress somebody then. You're from a small, dirty Florida town.
Yeah, and a
And-
ferry boat arrives.
Yeah, and you're like, well, what is this?
That
It's-
floats.
I could see. I mean, because charisma, that's all most organizations are built on is charisma.
Yeah.
So it's not that hard to have someone come to town and then go like, man, this guy's my everything.
Yeah.
And then you add hypnosis into the mix, and you don't stand a chance. But
Not
mean,
even a chance.
This guy's a child of the mayor.
I know.
Charisma is in his DNA.
you are technically, if your father
You're
were to
1/12 mayor.
resign or to walk away, you would become mayor just by inheritance.
It's by default.
by
It is,
default.
yeah.
It is.
Now-
Like our last episode, Buddy McCain.
That's right.
26 days.
As governor, whenever you're mayor, Michael, do you think, and we'll end with this in closing, if every head bowed, every eyes closed, do you think you would use hypnosis if you were mayor?
I would use it to allow me to resign.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Gather the whole city.
Oh, that just shows us a little snapshot behind the curtain of how
Yep,
stressful
yep.
mayoral
Yep,
life is.
let me tell you.
Yeah.
During the 2020 to the
Oh,
2022 year, I made a very important decision that
Yes.
nobody would ever talk me into being the mayor.
Yeah,
Really?
politics
You
is
saw what your
not.
father
You just
Yeah.
can't win anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
And you've seen what your father
and,
went
and
through.
people say whatever. People say whatever they
Oh,
want.
it's fun. With anonymity, oh, man, I slandered him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember reading that.
I libeled him, slandered him, all of them.
I remember reading. I thought that sounds like Josh.
Why would Josh say that? It wasn't even your alt account. It
Nah,
was
it's
it was
for fun.
It was from Offham's Instagram. Hey, Mike, thanks for coming on the show, man. We wanted to end by rolling out the red carpet for you. Is there anything you've got going on you want to talk about? Or
Well, he bought a
share?
house I wanted to buy
What I mean,
I did buy a house you wanted to buy
on
but,
Success Street.
But maybe I'm fixing it up for you.
Yeah, and then you're going
Maybe.
to sell it to me at cost? That's a no.
I'd have to sell.
That's a no.
I'd have to sell it to you under cost for you to want to buy it.
Yeah, I believe it. It's a beautiful house.
so you you buy and sell houses, and you have
I do.
houses that Josh wants.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've got a house in Bartow. If you
Well,
want
I'm
that.
not opposed to it. I'm actually looking for a spot in Maine.
Oh, I've got some friends in Maine.
There we
I'm looking
go.
for friends in Maine too.
All right, perfect. It's both.
So thank you for listening. Patreon.com/FMOFM podcast is where you can find all the extra goodies. This has been episode 232. This
Yeah.
is Michael Mutz, Josh Mills.
And if you like what you heard
yeah.
and you want Michael Mutz to come back, let us know.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
You got to go. Can I interrupt you?
No, please do.
Please, yeah.
Do you still want people to rate the podcast? Like, say that it's a good podcast? and
Oh,
stuff?
yeah.
That's
I
beneficial.
personally rated it.
Did you
and
really?
And I think maybe
How?
the reason you'd asked me to come on because you said it was such a good rating.
Was
Way,
that the long
really?
one that was well written?
Yep,
That
mhm.
took
I
us on a
used-
journey.
I actually used ChatGPT.
That makes
write
sense,
it.
Yeah.
This guy.
And then I had remembered you saying right before we started this that out of the next the people that rate the show in the next 2 weeks, you're selecting one of those people to come on the podcast.
Come
Easily.
on.
This is fact.
But you also admitted that you'd used a robot to do it. So in a way, you won via AI.
Yep. If people use the AIs,
Game
Riz.
over.
yeah.
Game over.
Keep it under 100 words.
Yes, please. Dude, that was great, man. You
Wow,
crushed
you
it.
killed it.
Really good job, dude.